Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tasha binti Muhammad Izzuddin and this is my individual presentation. For the NCR1, I'm located at the production area and the person in charge is Mr. Kumar as production manager. So this offences falls under the minor offences, which is the production area or the team. If you can see the production line, they use improper basket to store the finished good and place the finished good to fall at the floor. This related with the MBHM 2020 clause 32(1)(e) stated that the offences related with the JMP for premise, environment, sanitation, machine and equipment that can cause low risk of the product safety. As we know that the finished good that falls on the floor can cause cross-contamination with the product and it can affect our health if we consume that. So for the root cause, it may come from the untrained workers or because they doesn't have a proper SOP to handle the production line and they doesn't have a proper SOP to clean the production area. So for the correction, first they need to send the workers to the training so that the workers know a basic and knowledge about how to handle the production line. And they need to improve and enforce the SOP to make sure that the production area are always tidy and clean. For the corrective action, they need to do a regular inspection on the cleaner record in the production area. For example, they every day before they finish their works, they need to clean all the machines and drop all the rubbish outside the premise. And this is also NCR1 but different situation, which is the finished good are placed on the floor without the pallet. So this is also a minor offence and related with the same clause, which is MPHM 2020 clause 32(1)(e). So the root cause of this, because they doesn't have a sufficient pallet provided and space to store the finished good. So we can see that there is a finished good that have a pallet and doesn't have a pallet. So as we know that the finished good need to be stored 20 centimeter from the floor and 50 centimeter from the wall. So they need to make sure that the finished good does not get affected with the environment factors on that. So for the correction, they need to buy a new pallet to accommodate all the finished good, and they need to make sure that every finished good have sufficient space to store. So for the corrective action, they need to have a sufficient room to store finished good, or if the space are limited, they need to have a separate production line with the finished good. You can see this is the production line and the finished good, so they doesn't have a proper storage for finished good. So they need to have a separate to avoid that cross-contamination with the finished good and the production area. So this is the NCR2, which is located also at the production area, and the person in charge is Mr. Kumar, the production manager, and this operator's name is Sasi Kumari. So this offencer falls under the minor offencer, which is the workers' nails are too long, or it is related with the personal hygiene of the workers. And related with the MPHM 2020 clause 32(1)(e), it is stated that the offences related with the health, hygiene and sanitation workers and visitors. So as we know that the personal hygiene are also important because the workers have a direct contact with the raw material and finished good. And the root cause can occur from the workers who are not undergo the training, for example as LPM, so that doesn't know the basic personal hygiene, or the workers are originally an unhygienic person. So for the correction, we need to provide the training to the workers so that the workers know about the personal hygiene and how it's important for the workers to manage their hygiene. For the corrective action, the security need to check the workers every day before they enter the production area. So the secretary can check their health, their hair, their nails, their clothes, whether it is clean or not, whatever they bath or not for today. If they fail to do that, then the security need to ask them to go back and shower, something and so on. So, or they need to randomly do an inspection on the personal hygiene to the workers in the premise. So for the NCR 3, which is located at the packaging storage, material storage, which is the personal in charge is Mr. Satesh as the storekeeper. So this is falls under the major offense because there's a dead rat in the packaging storage. We know that the dead rat can attract pests such as cockroach, flies, and these pests can bring a disease and get a cross contamination with the packaging material. So this is related with the Anti-Bash Act 2020, Clause 32 to C. The offences related with the GMP for premise, environment, sanitation, machine, and equipment that can cause high risk of the product safety. So if this that rat in the packaging can cause a cross contamination with the finished good material. So the root cause is they does not conduct a pest control, and the correction is they need to establish and enforce the SOP for pest control in the premise. For example, they need to establish the TRDS outside the premise. They need to have a good trap or fly trap to prevent any pests that can affect the packaging and packaging material storage. And for the corrective action is they need to hire a third party to analyze the effectiveness of the pest control that have been conducted. So if they hire a third party, that they can know whatever the pest control that they conduct is effective or not. Also, if not effective, then they can do again. They can improve on that aspect. And lastly, we have NCR4, which is located at the receiving area. Personal in charge is Ms. Susanti, and this is also under the series of business Syariah as the driver brings along his dog during the delivery of raw material. As we know that the dog Nashmukalazov, and it cannot have direct. We cannot. The dog can change the status of the halal product. So this is related with the Anti-Bash Act 2020, Clause 32, 3A, 2 Roman. Stated that the offences related to the usage, handling, storage, and its product with non-halal, including raw material, product, menu, service, premise, equipment, and utensil, trading product, and more. So the dog can cause a cross-contamination between halal and non-halal product. So root cause is the security overlook when check the lorry and the gate. The security just simply check on the at the in front of the lorry. They just simply check because it can also cause the security to overlook it, and it also can cause the workers doesn't have a basic halal knowledge. So for the correction is they need to reject the raw material and send the car home to the supplier and ask for the new raw material. And for the corrective action, they need to strictly add the security to check the in front and the back of the lorry whenever they bring non-halal material such as pig, dog, or alcohol along. And we also can provide the halal awareness for the supplier to avoid this issue to happen again. So that's all from me. Thank you.